do. Okay. Hello, hello. I know it's been a while. Hopefully next month will be a lot better, since I'll be doing a lot of Halloween stuff towards the end of this month, so doing what I can. I know. I will work on being better. I still want to try to see if I can do something for World Gates this month, so I'm going to try to put some time for that. Not sure if I just want to do like a art set to put out or something else, but I'll see what I can do. Close to being done with this page, which is good. Hope everyone's doing well. And then I want to dabble in streaming on YouTube, so I'm gonna work on getting that set up. Yep, just started. Only been streaming for a few minutes. But yeah, I pretty much got most things out of the way, so aside from commissions and Halloween stuff, I think I can get things more situated at the beginning of November. But yeah, I definitely want to experiment with a few things. Not sure how long I'll stream. Maybe 2 hours for today, and I'll try to go longer tomorrow. No worries. Hope you have a good time when you do go. So yeah, at the moment, Andy and Bobby are getting baked. While playing their favorite game series. Oh well, tell her I said happy birthday. I hope you guys have a good time, especially since the weather's good, so that's definitely a good time to have some fun. Let's see. Usually it's this part that usually takes me a while. Once I get past it, everything else gets a little easier. I just have to deal with a few more details since they're playing a game. So the game character has different shading. No. I'll probably make it look more visual novel. And I'm thinking of putting like a screen filter on it just to make it look more like they're playing it on Andy's computer screen or whatever screen they may have brought. But yeah, that's the idea. I was thinking about pixel stuff for other games or other references and stuff like that, so maybe I'll do that in the future. I do want to look into pixel art more. Lots of art styles I've been wanting to dabble in. I need to do painting more, I haven't done that in a while. Hello, Pablo. Yep. Working on IHAT. Godly shading skills, I still need a lot more work. Trying to get better. At some point, I'm probably gonna take like an extended break. I don't know when I'll do this, or even if I'll do it, but if I do, at some point I want to take like a large enough break where I can like sit down and learn a few things. Because there's been a number of ideas I've been wanting to try out. I can probably work on some like bit by bit on the side, but I feel like it's one of those things where you kind of just gotta get in the groove, or like in the zone, and just like push yourself to learn it. But we'll see. Like, if I decide to go through with it, I'll make an announcement in the future. But this is like way off. I don't know when I'll do this. But there are some stuff I want to dabble in. Well, yeah, I always need to improve. Although I do accept that there are probably just some things that I want to learn that are just not useful for comics, or at least not efficient enough to use for comics because of the level of detail or whatever it is I'm trying to do. So it's one of those things where it's like, even if I wanted to do it, if I wanted to use it for a comic, it may be near impossible to do on my own, or at least not in a timely manner. But that's why I want to, experiment, so that way I can see if I can make certain methods faster and stuff like that. Find shortcuts if possible. Okay, so we're good on these. Because I can do her panel last. But yeah, I'll never know unless I try. I want to mess around with RPG Maker. I just haven't had a moment to sit down and mess with it. Like, I have it, I think it's the MV version. I've had that for years, I just haven't touched it. But I figured, hey, I should buy this because I might do something with it in the future. So, better to have it and not use it than to need it and not have it. IHAT RPG. I mean, I was thinking of something like that. I don't know if it would be anything super technical, but, probably start small and work my way up type of thing. But I'd have to figure out how the program works and all that first. And I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials at this point that I can look up on YouTube. But again, it's mostly just time. Time is always my issue. Yeah. Time is always a bitch. Because I know I've been slowing down on, well, not necessarily slowing down, but I know that my pages have reduced to 1 a week for each of the series. And I know I can make that better because I've been working on my scheduling, which is why I'm thinking I can make some improvements starting next month, so that way I have less to think about, because this month I have the whole Halloween stuff to to do, which mostly starts next week, but luckily it's only like a few days, so it's not like the entire week, so I can still work on stuff. But after that point is what I want to mess with. Mod Mugen. I don't think you understand how fighting games work in terms of frame data. I mean, I could probably do something in Mugen. Like I've messed with Mugen a few times. Like I've learned how to like put in the character models and stuff like that. So I'm not like unaware of how it functions. But yeah, if I was gonna make a fighting game of IHAT, that'd be a shit ton of frames for each character I put in. Especially depending on how smooth I want it to be. Scripting for a IHAT RPG, like code scripting or story scripting, because obviously there's two different things. Well, several actually. But I just gotta figure out what I'm gonna do exactly and what are the limits of whatever program I use. Because like at one point I was thinking of doing a visual novel. And I think I still have the program for that, although there's probably better ones now. Because I think the one I have saved on my computer is, I think it's like Ren something. Story. Yeah, well, I'll have to think about it because you have some really good story pitches and stuff like that that you've shown me in the past. Especially the Big Burgers manager thing, or corporate CEO. I always thought that was a fun idea. Just a matter of getting a chance to play around with those ideas. But yeah, like all these ideas I have are just like, okay, yeah, cool. When are we gonna have the time to do this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. So like even with the visual novel idea, I was thinking like if I can't, like assuming I can't make a game out of that, I could turn it into like a YouTube thing where it's like, you know, just simple panels and have dialogue pop up and maybe like some sound effects for the dialogue, or if possible anything else that may show up. And I know how to do that stuff. All it boils down to is just time. Time is my vice. Or Achilles heel, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, like it's not like I'm not knowledgeable in these things, it's just I can only do so much. And then yeah, I know there's always the idea of trying to, you know, incorporate more people into this stuff, but it's one of those things where I feel like I have to do it or else it doesn't come out the way I'm thinking. But that's why I'm working on scheduling, because if I pull it off the way I'm thinking, I can probably get a lot more done. But this month is definitely not the beginning of that because of the stuff I'm doing. Well, I don't know. Maybe I can. Maybe I can try to do it this month. Choose some days and try to put some things into effect. Maybe like start small and then work my way up to where I want it to go. So yeah, I'll try experimenting. Probably start tomorrow. See what I can do. But yeah, quite a number of ideas I'd like to do. And then I was debating on if or when I finish the current chapters for Black Circus and IHAT, where I take a break from them and work on something on the side. So like, let's just say IHAT Secrets or Archives, for example. So take a break from the mainline comics, work on the side stuff for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 stories, and then return. So that way, come back a little more fresh than just finish one and keep going, finish one and keep going. But that's just a thought. I don't know if I'll go through with that one or not. because I figured, you know, maybe some more side story stuff to flesh out more characters, and they'd be in black and white, so they take less time. Yeah, like I said, I'm always thinking of all this stuff. So lots to do, so little time. Well, I shouldn't think so little time. I need to stop. I think one of my problems is I'm breaking things down from day by day, and I should just treat everything as just a continuous flow. And granted, like, obviously I'm trying to get some stuff done weekly and all that, so maybe that's like another reason why I'm stuck in this mentality. Because mostly I'm just trying to get out as much as I can within the month as possible, not really thinking of a actual quota. Yeah. That's why I'm trying not to do too much now. Like, I'm already working on the 3, but Secrets is like the least priority. And it's not in like a super rush, but it's definitely like, you know, part of the flow at the moment. But yeah, like after the current stuff that I'm working on is done, so like the current chapters for IHAT 2 and Black Circus and Secrets I'm not too worried about because it's only like it's a much shorter story. But I'm thinking of either focusing on one story at a time or taking a break from the 2 main lines and do some side stuff for a bit, as long as I keep it simple. And then if I really go off the wall and do some like side stuff, like, you know, working on like a visual novel or short game or something, or at least, you know, just learning a new skill, then I'll make that clear on what I'll be doing if that ever comes up. Sinister shading on Andy. I know he does look kind of evil. But nah, he's just getting high with his buddy. And on the next page, I'm gonna have Emerald sitting on Andy's lap while he's playing the game. And she's getting hotboxed along with them. So she'll be a little high. I almost want to put up a vote of something between Emerald and Andy. But at the same time, I was like, I might keep it more romantic. But the idea was whether or not Emerald would initiate something with Andy while Bobby is there, or if Bobby would join in. But I think I would keep it more romantic. But that was a brief thought. Where I was like, maybe I'll have people vote on that. But then I was like, I think I want to keep it romantic. Because I can always have Bobby be a gentleman and excuse himself while the 2 have their fun. Or even if he doesn't leave, he can always pretend that he passed out from the weed and the alcohol. Because he's a bro. She can sit on the side where her tail is, or well, the thorax or whatever the hell I'm gonna call it, because she's a bestial. She can always like sit sideways on his lap. So like, for example, can just draw this here. I'll just put this on another layer, that way it's easier. So like, he's sitting like this, has like the game controller here. Here's his lap, and then she can sit here on the side like this, and then her tail is like over here. So she can do that. And then her tail does curve upwards, if necessary. That's usually when she has her wings out for that. But she can technically do that. And we're still going on this. But yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I was like, all right, she has her bug butt, so what are we gonna do? I was like, well, she can sit like this. Bobby sneezes. But yeah, I was thinking of Emerald getting a little frisky from being under the influence. And Andy being a little less likely to say no. And I don't know, Bobby sitting there with popcorn going like, oh, hey. I do want to show that there are other Mantis girls in the world, in that they have like a different body type than Emeralds, because not all bestials are the same. They all have like jumbled up genetics. So at some point I do want Emerald to be next to another Mantis-like character, or Mantis type. Where are you? And it's mainly just to show that there's differences in body types and stuff like that. They're not just like, oh, this is how all of them look. So there's kind of no wrong answer when it comes to the species and all that. It's just a matter of if they're more humanoid, then they're bestials. If they're more animal-like, then they're ferrocene. And then you get all the other stuff like aliens and robots and stuff. Which reminds me, I need to make some lore stuff because I want to start putting out more info. Some of the characters I posted, I can make bios of them. Yeah, because like there's some bug bestials that look more bug-like with their faces and stuff, whereas you have ones that look like how Emerald's face looks like. And then I'm debating on if I want to make species that have like a more humanish face, but still be in like full bug motif. But I kind of get put off on those kind of faces, because it just feels weird. So if I don't use those faces for like actual characters, I'll probably use them for like background characters and all that, just for shits and giggles. But yeah, it's mostly just to show that there are a large variety of body types and stuff. That's why I decided to make one of Caitlyn's friends, Ferrocene, just to say, hey, here's another snake character. Human bug hybrids. Yeah, like there are the mixed breed types, the amalgamates. So those people exist. but not in the fashion that I'm thinking. Like, the fashion that I'm thinking is like this. Let me pick a darker color. Like, I'm thinking... Get a bigger brush. Like, here's the eyes. But then, like, the face is, like, more... like a person's. Like, more jagged and stuff. And, like, they have, like, more clear features and stuff like that. That's a person. It's, like, more realistic than it should. But then, like, I make them, like, a bug person. So it's like, oh, here's the antenna. Here's the mandibles for whatever freaking reason. Like that. Like, the same happens when they're, like, furry people. It's because you have, like, characters that are, like, more humanish. But then they have, like, a human nose. But then it's, like, has a little bulb on it. But, like, they still look more like a person. Like, that kind of stuff. Like, those kind of faces trip me out. I was like, no, no, please. Like, I don't have anything initially against him, but it just, I don't know, feels off. It's like when you give a furry character, like, a full-on, like, human mustache and beard. And it just somehow doesn't make sense. Like, there are ways to do it, obviously, but, like, I don't know. It just feels like it's like you put facial hair on top of fur. That's the thought that I'm having when I see stuff like that. Fuck. Is that? Nah, man. He'll fix his allergies. I'll just take another hit. But yeah, Bobby can always, like, come up with like, if he sees Andy and Emerald about to try to get it on, he can always excuse himself if he needs to, because he can take harder drugs than this. He'd be like, "Oh man, I gotta go. Guess I'll see you guys later," and then stuff happens. Oh yeah, because I didn't want to, like, deselect this just to draw it, like, over here, so I just used his nose since it had the biggest amount of space. But yeah, I'll debate on how I want to go about it, because I can always have Andy be a pansy and, you know, not want to bone Emerald, but I think that would just make her more horny. And it's not like Andy wants to say no, it's just like, you know, they were supposed to be friends, and now all of a sudden she's trying to ride him. Hello, Zen. But what do you guys think? Should Andy just bury his bone, or should he be a gentleman and wait when they're both sober? Greetings, Jet. Yes, I am doing well, and I am also excited for Halloween. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I do want to reset up my display so I can have chat on screen or something at some point. I think that would be fun. And then I definitely want to use Picardo more. Yes, he is going to have a lot of fun smoking and drinking because he is playing a very fun H game. wants to get to the secret ending. Yeah. I think Andy would probably still be more reserved in something like that, but with Emerald trying to instigate him into performing, that might change his mind. Or at least make him more willing. And hey, maybe have Bobby leave a condom or something, assuming he even has any on him. Alright. But yeah, this is going to be like hours of them playing this game and smoking and drinking and all that. So it's not going to be like immediate. Especially since whatever moment that they're looking for in the game will come on, and that will probably influence Emerald into wanting to have a little fun. Okay, good on that. But just a thought. Like, there are multiple ways I can go about it. I'm just thinking of the current one. Yeah. From his end, it wouldn't make sense for him to try to push it. But Emerald trying to get him to do something might help. Like, at least I could see him exploring her a little bit. And, like, let's just say hypothetically he does do that, he might get cold feet or something. Which might miff her a bit, because she's like, God damn it. If someone were to do something about one of your characters, 5 different art styles or other comic artist styles, which one? Which art style would I like to see? That is a hard question. The best way I can point that out is maybe through, like, my top favorite artists, I guess. Because I could see them be done by Jay Axer, Patrick Spaziante, don't remember this person's real name, but they go by the name Duo Ride-On. So that's 3. Maybe Tracy Yardley. And who would be the 5th? Let me think. I gotta think hard on the 5th one. Let me see. Because I follow a lot of artists. God damn, that is a hard decision. Damn, there's like multiple ones that I can think of. Maybe it's like a toss between. It's like a toss between like Frisky Ferrell's, Eric Schwartz, maybe Jay Nyler, maybe Mish. Zooming is also good. Damn, that's a hard choice. Okay, if I had to pick a fifth, then Jesus, this is still a hard choice. If I had to pick a fifth, maybe Alex Zahad. Alex Zahad. Ahad. So yeah, if I had to pick, then probably him. Damn, that's a hard decision because I like a lot of different artists and art styles. Like, there's a reason I have multiple fucking drives. Like, how many artists do I have in just this folder alone? Hold on, let me check. Come on, wake up, drive. Okay, so like this folder alone, and this is just like artists, isn't even like split off into like different categories. So this folder alone is 1,359 folders that I have of artists' artwork and stuff. And that's just like one section. So there are a lot that I like. Like Yoshitaka Amano would be good too to see. I'd be curious on how he would go about it. Maybe Sakimi-chan, because I want to see her draw more furries. I've only seen her draw like one or two. They are few and far between. But yeah, it would be fun to see them in different art styles. I don't mind. I mean, my style was mostly inspired by Sonic the Hedgehog, so definitely have influences here and there. Yeah, I want to dabble in trying more art styles, because so far the only one I've messed around with was that one of Becky not too long ago. So I want to mess around, see what I can come up with. So I've been looking at tutorials and stuff like that. Oh yeah, no wonder. I was like, why am I feeling weird about this? It's like, oh yeah, because we didn't do it this way. There we go. Brian Lee O'Malley. feel like I should know who that is. Let me see. Oh yeah, yeah, that style would be fun. Scott Pilgrim, yeah. Yeah, he has a good art style. Jim Davis, I know I've seen his stuff a few times, but let me refamiliarize myself. Oh yeah, I can see that too. I'm horrible with names. That's why I'm all like, I recognize you, but who are you? But yeah, yeah. Seeing people draw in different art styles is always fun. Or seeing like characters being drawn in by other people is really fun. But yeah, like Tracy Yardley, I think would definitely um, um, be a good style. No, it's not weird. That's perfectly fine. And like I used to look at Tracy Yardley stuff a few times here and there, because like Tracy Yardley has like a cartoony style, but like what's the best way of expressing it? It's like soft but hard at the same time. That's the feeling I get from their style. And they have a whole like pencil-y crayon line work. Or no, maybe I think that's a different person. I think there's more solid. It's been a while since I looked at Tracy's. Because I remember a long time ago, Jay Axer commented on my artwork a few times. So that was fun. Yeah, Tracy's still working on Sonic stuff, which is good. Yeah, like they give me like a almost cell shaded, but it's like a little bit softer. And then Patrick Spaziante just does fucking crazy work. And then Jay Axer does really crazy detailed stuff too. But yeah, that'd be fun to see. Maybe one of these days I'll have to try to challenge myself and try to mimic some art styles and see what I can learn from it. Okay, I think we're good on that. And it can always come in handy for like other projects or special covers or art sets and stuff. That's why I always use Blueberry Jam when I'm experimenting, because her design is like easy enough to just, you know, draw her quickly, but detailed enough where it's like there's enough to work with if I'm trying to do something new. And the reason why I chose Becky for the recent experiment, because I want to see how detailed I could make her. And then it just boils down to simplifying the process. Because like the more I know what I'm doing, the easier things get. And I can like do it quickly. But sometimes certain things like comic pages take more time because sometimes there's like a detail that I have that I have to do. So like in this case, I have to do the video game shading for this character. Which reminds me, I need to give her a name. Think of that when I get there. Ah, glass is dirty. Must clean. And apparently Five Nights at Freddy's comes out like a day early up where I live. I might try to see that in theaters. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Like, honestly, I think if they stick with the whole ghost thing, I think it'll be a great movie. Just keep it simple, don't make it overly complicated. And it'll be fine. And like, I think the games are still good, but I definitely think the ones made by Scott are a lot better. But I do like the characters that Steel Wool came up with. I just think that they should be handled by one, a better writer, and two, people that know their limitations with the game engine. Because Ruined is definitely a better version of Security Breach. It just sucks that Security Breach had to be the base game. Because if they had kept it simple, I think the game would have been amazing. Because ultimately that's what screwed them over, is that they tried to go bigger and bigger. But yeah, I definitely think the Mimic is the worst character, next to Afton. Or William Afton. William Afton was great in FNAF 3. That was when he was interesting. After that point, he got boring really fast. Especially in FNAF 6, where they gave him a voice, and it just made it seem like he was trying to be super intelligent despite being dead, and it was just like really obnoxious. Because like what I think like one of his quotes was like I knew this was a trap when I got here, obviously. But he was having like an accent with it, and I was just like, okay, you guys you're overdoing it with this character. And then sure enough, everybody hates him now because he keeps showing up. But now it's interesting because FNAF Ruined or Security Breach Ruined sort of retcon their own story to a degree. But that's like another problem, is that they keep retconning stuff. Thinking about Nadine. Yeah, I could see Nadine like getting a job as a model briefly. Like, I don't think it'd be one she would keep, but it'd be definitely be one she would try to, like, you know, make some money so she can help out Claire for rent. I could see like Nadine being a little uncomfortable because it's just not her thing, and then Claire noticing and just, you know, being a good friend and telling Nadine, like, look, if this is not something you want to do, you don't have to do it. We'll find something else. I could see her being like a chill friend with stuff like that. Oh no, you're fine. I was just rambling about FNAF. Nothing important. Okay, we're good on that. Did that. I guess I could do this. Nah, because realistically it wouldn't be there. Okay, I think we're good on this end. I was thinking of adding marks to the eyes, but I think they're fine this way. I can save the marks for more serious situations. Alright, now I gotta do her. Deselect, select. And save. I mean, we've been waiting for 9 years, so now I'm happy that it's finally coming out. And it's funny because we've had 2 other FNAF-like movies come out beforehand. So now we'll have like a ranking system of top 3. But yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how they go about it. And what they do to make it interesting. But for me, the bar is just keep it simple. It's just, you know, don't overdo it. It's like, don't overdo it, keep it simple. Don't make some convoluted, like, super twist that doesn't need to be there. Because you know that's gonna screw it over heavily if they do something like that. Okay, this should be the blue color that I'm thinking. Yes. That's you, so what color scheme is this? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, good. So you're good. Let's put you back to normal. Multiply. What about you? 50% overlay. Are you the color? Are you white? Okay, now you're the other guy. Okay, good. So you're good, and what is this? What do I use this for? I'm using this for something. Oh, okay, zero blush. Alright. Okay, cool. So, not much I have to worry about. But yeah, FNAF will be fun. Like, I'm not expecting, like, the greatest thing ever, but I do want it to be good. It's too dark for that, so anyway. Markiplier is what got me into watching it. That and I was drinking alcohol at the time. Because my friend was like, "Oh, have you heard of Five Nights at Freddy's?" I'm like, "No." And so they showed it to me, and that was the first time I saw Markiplier's videos too. And that's what made me like his stuff. The jump scares are fine. They're more of a just they're just an end state. Like they only happen if you fail. I'll say like the closest one that is like an actual jump scare where it's just there to mess with you is the one that Foxy does in FNAF 4, where he slightly jumps you while he's in the closet, but he like doesn't kill you. He just kind of barks at you briefly. So that one, and I think Nightmare Fredbear, where he's on the bed beeping. But yeah, I'll say that's like closer to a jump scare. Whereas most of the time they're just like giving you unsettling images most of the time. Like in the first game, you have Bonnie and Chica staring at the camera every time you look at them. Or when Foxy is coming out of the curtains and his body's all twisted right before he makes a mad dash for the office. And Freddy's like one of the creepier ones because you barely see him throughout most of the images. You only see his eyes until he's like right up on the camera and he's just glaring at you. So, but I like that. I like that how unsettling it was back then. I'll say that 2 was a little less creepy aside from like Mangle. I think Mangle was like the creepier one. In 3, honestly, Springtrap's like actual jump scare when he kills you is like weak because it's just not scary at all. Him glaring at you from the cameras where you can like barely see him, and you have to like play I Spy to find him. Those are a little creepy, but still not as good as the older game or the games before it. 4, I guess the only thing creepy about 4 really is just when you see the characters coming down the hallway, or when they like step away when they're at the very, very, very end of it. But other than that, it's like not that scary. But I do like the atmosphere that the games give you to help you be more unsettled. So the games do a good job trying to put you in the mood. 5 is probably one of my least favorites. Just because I don't like that it was going the whole sci-fi route. That and Chica wasn't in the game, so that's like an automatic downgrade. Six is the same thing. Like 6 wasn't scary at all in terms of the actual atmosphere and all that, and the jump scares were lame. Like, I can be startled, but like convincing me that that something scary is a different topic. Seven's not really scary. That's like not really the point of 7. It's more of a challenge mode thing. But it's definitely interesting in terms of like, okay, this is supposed to be purgatory or hell, one of the two. VR was really good, setting itself up and being very unsettling with Glitch Trap. Which honestly, they should have just named him like Malhair, or a more fitting name, because if like making a Glitch Trap and Scrap Trap and Spring Trap, like all of them having a very similar name is just really boring. Like Spring Trap is fine because that was the first one. Scrap Trap, I was like, eh. Burn Trap was dumb. Glitch Trap, I was like, no, you should have been named Malhair. Like, that would have been better. It makes way more sense. There's a pun. Still didn't like the whole sci-fi-ness of it, but at least this one was a little bit better put together. And then Security Breach is Security Breach. I mean, there's so many flaws with that game and story. The fact that they scrapped Vanny's whole arc is upsetting. It's like, hey, we made an awesome character and we did nothing. It's like, how do you even do that? How do you make an awesome character and then do jack with that character? And then they got rid of her knife. I was like, really? It's like, well, we're trying to be kid friendly. It's like, kids will be in this regardless. Just make the game you want to make. If you have to, make a baby mode. It's like, alright, here's the kiddie mode, so now that way the characters are more kid friendly, but here's the, you know, true game mode where you play the game the way it's intended. Or just leave it as it is intended. And if parents are willing to get the game regardless, then there you go. It means parents' job to be a parent anyway. And yes, I understand, you know, trying to get a broader audience and blah 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 blah, but like I said, kids will be into it regardless. Like, my friend's daughter keeps asking me about SCPs and telling me like trippy and scary ones, so I'm like, okay, clearly she doesn't give a shit about if something's scary or not. She just thinks they're interesting and fun. So yeah, if I had ever got fucking popular for some bizarre reason, I'm definitely not gonna be covering up Kitsune's tits. Like, no, this is the character. Deal with it. You know Becky's fat ass will get fucking cancelled. It's like, oh my god, she's so rude and blah blah blah. Oh my god, she's cursing and doesn't care about my and. Your point. No, I think if anything, people would bitch about about Marcy being fat and Skylar taking advantage of her being fat and all that, or him fattening her up. That would be what pisses people off. Because I had that in the beginning where it's like, oh, where people are like, oh my god, being fat is not attractive. I'm like, says you. And at the same time, I'm like, this is a comic, sir or madam. If you don't like it, you can go elsewhere. No one's forcing you to experience this. Alright, take care and have fun. Have a good day and be safe. No worries. There'll be plenty of time to talk more. But have a good time. But yeah, the number of times I had gotten messages of people disliking certain things, I was like, okay, that's perfectly valid, but why are you here if you don't like it? That's the part that confuses me the most. And I know one of the reasons a person gave me was like, well, you can barely see certain images and thumbnails and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. But once you get there, you leave and then you move on with your day. You don't sit there and get angry because you saw a picture you didn't like. And you definitely don't put in so much time and energy into talking about what you don't like when you don't like it. Like, there will be people who don't like certain artwork or certain stories or whatever, but like they'll do the research and know a shit ton about it despite not liking it. And that's the part that gets me confused. I'm like, wait, so you don't like it, but you know so much about it that you're practically a fan. So got that. This is a bitch. Excuse me. But yeah, I'll probably... God, I need some water. And I am out of water. Got like the last drops in there. But yeah, I'll probably go 2 hours. So I'll stop in like a half an hour. All that's left after this is backgrounds, some lighting details, and dialogue, and whatever effects that I gotta do. Save. There's another artist that I think would be interesting to see my characters in. Sure, get his name right. Yeah, I think Sobin, the person who does the artwork for Overlord, I think it'd be fun to see my characters in their style too. Or even Paru Itagaki, who made Beastars. That'd be fun. Next. Save. Let's see, almost done. This. And this should be fine. I think I'll call it here, because the rest is just going to be the other details that I said. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I will try to stream again tomorrow. And yeah, I'll post this when it's ready on Patreon and all that. So yeah, thank you for coming, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, alright? You guys have a good night. Take care.